Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and please check out my channel for other updates. So the last update about Twist of Fate. Rhea and Aliyah drugged Ranbir to make him sleep with Rhea. But before that, Aliyah slaps Rhea for abusing her that she couldn't keep her husband Purab. So how can Aliyah teach her how to keep Ranbir? Let's continue. Aliyah tells Rhea that the tablet has started its effect on Ranbir and asks her to take Ranbir to the room. Rhea says, "How can I take him to the room? I need your help." Just then, a guy comes there and says that the lady was driving the car. The police inspector says that Aliyah is not going anywhere. The inspector says 2 hours has passed. The guy says, "My scooter was crashed by your car and I was about to die." Rhea asks the guy to take the money and leave. She says we are celebrating the festival and asks him to leave. The inspector asks Rhea not to interfere and says this guy was about to die. Shahana asks Rhea and Aliyah to value a person's life. Prachi comes to the room and thinks to take the tablet that the doctor has prescribed for her. She thinks that she will get sleepy, but she has to take it, and she thinks to make an excuse when someone asks her. She takes the tablet and drinks water. Prachi lies down on the bed and switches off the light. Ranbir comes to Prachi's room and rests on the bed. Prachi looks at him and gets emotional. Ranbir and Prachi were sleeping on the bed. They both are drowsy. Ranbir says, "I love you" to Prachi. Prachi asks, "What did you say?" Ranbir asks, "Didn't you hear what I said?" He says, "I said I love you," and holds her hand. A song plays in the background. The scooter guy is outside with the police to arrest Aliyah. Aliyah apologized to the police that it was a mistake. Shahana asks if the scooter guy should buy a car so that he doesn't meet with an accident, and this is wrong. Rhea asks Aliyah that did anyone ask you to interfere? Aliyah asks Shahana if the scooter or the car belongs to her. Shahana says no. Then Aliyah asks Shahana to be quiet, and Pallavi also asks Shahana not to interfere in their family matter, and Shahana angrily goes away from there. The inspector asks Aliyah to come to the police station and says she should have confessed or offered compensation to the guy. Aliyah apologizes and says, "I don't want to stretch this matter and I will pay for the compensation." The inspector asks her to do the formalities and end the matter. Rhea looks for Ranbir and Prachi and thinks that where are they? She thinks she has taken so much risk for Ranbir and she wonders if Prachi is with Ranbir. Rhea comes to Prachi's room and finds Ranbir and Prachi sleeping. She shouted, "What the hell?" and asks Prachi to get up. Prachi says, "Let me sleep, I need to rest." Rhea asks if Prachi drank bang. Prachi says, "I got drowsy with the medicine given by the doctor." Rhea asks, "What is my husband doing in your room?" Prachi says, "I thought this is my room and get up to go." Rhea says, "This is your room and you have brought Ranbir here to do something wrong with him." Prachi asks Rhea to ask Ranbir. Rhea blames Prachi for trying to do something wrong with her younger sister's husband and calls Prachi shameless. Prachi says, "I don't do anything wrong." Rhea asks her to have any shame and says, "I did not define your designation." She says you have your eyes on your younger sister's husband and asks what sister's husband is called Jija and says even shame will be shameful for Prachi. Prachi shouted Rhea and says, "I am not understanding your words. You just heard 2 to 3 words and you got angry." She asks her to get her stuff and leave. Rhea taunts her. Prachi asks Ranbir to get up and go to his room. Rhea takes Ranbir with her and leaves. Prachi sleeps on the bed. Rhea is taking an unconscious Ranbir to the room. She says that a big mistake was about to happen. Aliyah helps her take Ranbir to the room. Shahana sees Ranbir in Rhea's room. She asks what Ranbir is doing here and says he shall not be here. Rhea says, "Who are you to decide?" Shahana says, "I am his sister-in-law," and Shahana questions Rhea. Rhea says, "I am not answerable to you," and she insults Shahana for not having any respect. She says, "I am Ranbir's wife and I hope you got a strict reply," and says a husband and wife sleep in the same room together, and says Prachi herself asked me to take Ranbir to my room. Shahana thinks that Prachi cannot say this, and Shahana goes to Prachi's room. Prachi is sleeping. Shahana tells her that Rhea has taken Ranbir to the room so that she can celebrate honeymoon with Ranbir. Prachi says she had the tablet of pregnancy and she sleeps again. Shahana thinks that the doctor has said that Prachi will sleep after having the pain-relieving tablet, and she thinks of how to stop Rhea. Rhea asks the unconscious Ranbir to get up and asks him to see who is in front of him. Ranbir opens his eyes and imagines that Prachi is sitting in front of him. Rhea gets closer to Ranbir to kiss him. Pallavi stops Shahana and asks if she is peeping inside Rhea's room. Shahana says Ranbir is inside. Pallavi calls Shahana shameless. Shahana tells Pallavi that if Rhea stays with Ranbir today, then all relations will be ashamed. Pallavi says they are married and I have blessed Rhea to give me a grandson or granddaughter soon. Shahana says Ranbir loves Prachi. Pallavi says Ranbir is my son, and she asks if he asks for the moon, then should I give him? No. Shahana says Pallavi shouldn't have given Ranbir the son cause it can burn like fire. She says Ranbir is drunk and he doesn't understand what is happening. Pallavi says even Vikram is drunk and says that Vikram can still differentiate between other women and me. Pallavi says to Shahana that you are on a tourist visa and if you disturb Rhea and Ranbir, then I will cancel your visa here and I will throw you out of the house. She says Grandma is not here and Vikram and Prachi are sleeping, so nobody would help you. Shahana thinks that Prachi needs me in the morning. Pallavi says I will be here so that nobody can disturb my son and my daughter-in-law. Vikram wakes up and thinks that it is late. He thinks that he has a headache and calls Pallavi. He checks the to-do list and thinks that he has forgotten to invite Rishi Oberoi and his family. He thinks to call them. He calls Rishi and invites him for the Oli party. He says that he is entering into an hotel business and heard that Rishi is entering into an event business. Vikram invites Rishi for the party and asks if he would come. Rishi says we will be there and says it is our priority to celebrate Oli with you and your family. He thanks him for the invitation. In the morning, Prachi wakes up and sees Shahana sitting on the sofa. She asks what happened. Shahana says I was sitting here all night and I couldn't sleep. Prachi asks what happened. Shahana says you will know in some time and requests Prachi not to think of Ranbir wrong. Rhea tells Aliyah that Ranbir and I was on bed together all night. Aliyah says wonderful and hugs her. Shahana tells Prachi that Rhea said that you sent Ranbir with her. Prachi says yes, I sent him and says that Rhea came and fought with her, so she sent Ranbir with her. Shahana says you have done a mistake and says that I am afraid that Rhea has celebrated wedding night with Ranbir. Rhea tells Aliyah that they couldn't celebrate the wedding night and she was about to kiss Ranbir, but Ranbir fell asleep. Aliyah says to Rhea that nobody knows that you did not have a wedding night with Ranbir. She asks Rhea to lie down beside Ranbir and says she will call all the family members here. She asks her not to close the door from inside. Rhea asks, what are you saying? Aliyah says I will tell everyone that you did not wake up on my call, so I get scared. I will push the door and then everyone will look at you both. Aliyah asks Rhea to do as she said and asks her to lie down with Ranbir on the bed. Prachi says to Shahana that Ranbir can never do this. She runs outside. Aliyah brings Pallavi to the room. Pallavi smiles seeing Rhea and Ranbir sleeping together. Rhea pretends to wake up and says you are here. Ranbir looks at Rhea and gets shocked. He asks how did I come here? He looks at Prachi and gets more shocked. Prachi goes away angrily. Rhea asks Aliyah to give her a gown. Pallavi says we shall not disturb the children. They will surprise us with grandchild surprise soon. And Pallavi is really happy to see that Rhea and Ranbir has consummated their marriage. Aliyah kisses Rhea's cheeks and says I am so happy for you, and Aliyah and Pallavi leaves. Rhea smiles, but Ranbir looks at Rhea with a lot of anger on his face. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it, and please subscribe to my channel for more updates. Thank you.